Hi, and welcome to this podcast. Uh, I have with me Dr. Trishla Gala. Hi, Trishla. Would you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do?
Sure. Thank you, Banti, for actually inviting me to talk on something which I do not know yet. But thank you so much. I'm sure I'll get to learn a lot here through you. I'm an Ayurveda practitioner and a counselor since been practicing independently since 11 years. And it's
Oh,
been my passion, and I'm really loving it, every bit of it.
oh, lovely. So good that you answered in the way you did because the topic I kind of was grasping with some time back was the pursuit of happiness.
The
Okay.
pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Borrowed from the famous film, of course, the phrase.
Well said.
Yeah, and I was thinking about myself. Okay, how do I perceive happiness? One of the interesting thoughts that came to me was anything that I pick up as a subject which gives me happiness. So, say if I am trying to talk to you or any friend for that matter, I just pick up the phone and I'm trying to get through to you. For some reason, immediately I want to share something, or I want to hear something, or I want to ask something, anything. The moment I get it, it never turns out to be the way I've kind of envisaged it or how I wanted it. And it is as
Hmm.
simple as a phone call sometimes. And
Okay.
the moment it happens, then I find why was I, struggling, or why was I yearning for this kind of happiness? And
Hmm.
it happens all across. A phone call is just an example. Anything that I do, studying for my degree when I was doing that. Um, so I've always found maybe I don't understand what is this happiness that I'm looking for. How does it work for you? How do you define happiness?
Good question. Very deep and profound and very complicated at the same time.
Okay.
Because I guess the question of pursuit of happiness usually differs from my mood, ideally.
Oh,
But somehow it has bottled up to this thought pattern that happiness is actually to be satisfied with whatsoever that comes in, whether I like it, whether I do not like it, whether it is so called good or bad or right or wrong. I think it is more to do with the trust in the universe of whatever is flowing through me, so that I can keep my head aside and be happy with what I have received,
oh,
be happy with what I have not received, be happy with what I have lost.
oh,
So, so I think if I connect my goal of pursuit of happiness with surrendering it to the universe, then my limited knowledge is respected but kept aside, and I let life flow through me, then eventually every moment becomes a part of happiness, even if I'm crying, because somehow it's an introspective mode which is on completely, and there is some entanglement which is noticed within my system, and with awareness it is, that tie, that knot is removed. You untie the knot with that awareness.
okay.
So it is such a beautiful flow that I enjoy even crying with myself, or even feeling angry for the other person or my own self. But that struggle itself is such a beautiful metamorphosis that it that is happiness for me, is what I feel. If I target it to some achievements, then I will achieve it only if I achieve. But if it is not in my destiny, I don't want to go sulky. I'll definitely plan my day. I'll definitely intend something that I want. But I also trust in the universe that I'll get something which I need. So it's a very
Complex
yeah.
answer.
it is kind of complex, but it is absolutely simple, and I'm sure it's not an easy sale. But I think eventually universe teaches us by hook or by crook.
Hmm.
So
Okay,
yeah,
my thoughts were running in the direction of when you. Okay, I'll stick to the small example that I was talking about because I do not want to go into some elaborate example of happiness. Obviously, people
okay,
define happiness differently, but if I
yes.
stick to something as simple as that, say, I wanted to get you on call to confirm our Zoom recording time right now.
Hmm.
Um, and I was unable to get through because of anything, because of network, because of your phone availability or my phone problem or any such thing. Uh, I have a schedule to keep. I have a promise to keep to myself, to you, uh, to doing this. Then a schedule after this is done. All of those things in my head, which is not necessarily a random happiness that I'm seeking. It's a happiness plus responsibility that I've picked up. For example, I'm just
Hmm.
stretching an example. So,
Right.
in that sense, when I cannot really leave it to the universe, is what I would want to think. I want to try all, maybe, call up some friend of yours if I know, or somebody else who might have some other number and somehow get through to you. Would that not be a normal thing to do? Or how do you see that if you stick to this example, for example?
For this particular example, I feel it that even if you are sticking to what you want and you are struggling to get done with what you want, wherein you're achieving happiness, but at that point of time, what is your state of mind is what matters the most. So I can have all the delays, but can I just even look at my anxiety and restlessness and yet, strive to achieve it? Will also bring in peace and yet accepting for the change even if I've not accepted or expected the way it has to. So if I am aware of my state of mind at that point of time, I'm definitely working towards achieving my pursuit of happiness, and at the same time I'm also accepting the change if it occurs, because universe definitely has plans for us. So the upper hand is always what I leave it to the universe,
No.
and the second effort is my own. So the state of mind at that point of time is what is more important to have whatever you have,
Okay.
whatever you have your pursuit for happiness.
Um, so if I were to push this in an area which is far more grave, perhaps, you being a doctor, I'm sure you have access to a lot more stories which are very difficult to bear at times because of patients and the kind of lives that they go through. Uh, if at that point I am trying to access you as a doctor and you know something that is going to ease the symptom that I or a loved one has, um, would this wisdom work? And how do you make this wisdom work? I now want to open this up. Uh, the example is just one way of looking at things. I find what you're saying is very interesting, but I'm just trying to see, is it practical? And if it is practical, how do you manage it? So in that state, suppose your some loved one or somebody is unwell, and you being a doctor, you're trying to access another doctor. You know a bit about it, but you don't know the entire thing, how to go about it, and you're trying to access somebody, and you do not have access. How would you tell your mind to keep looking at the restlessness? Because I think a lot of us would think it's a valid concern to have. No, it's not why I want to bring in this area is because happiness is generally seen as a state of mind which is very exciting or entertaining or uh,
Hmm.
adrenaline rush of sorts. But sometimes it
Yeah,
might be a smaller thing which is very grave, which is important to us, that we stay healthy, we stay happy, whatever, normal. So in that sense, how do you work towards it? If at all you faced an example, I would be happy to hear that.
I have faced quite a lot of examples actually, in a way. But I guess it is more like to be prepared to play for a tournament, you need practice. So I guess daily practice of awareness, daily practice of self care,
Uh,
daily practice of mothering yourself, fathering yourself, or taking care of the inner child, or letting the child be happy. So, all of these pre preps that we do will eventually, have their heads up in such an event wherein the child is shit scared, but the parent within has taken the control over the child, saying that, dude, let's cry later. Let's work on what is to be done at this point of time. So the dealings at that sort of moment will occur if the awareness is persistent. And at that point of time, the question is of your loved one. So definitely the child is going to be active, first than the parent in you or the adult in you. So you, at that point of time, I also need to honor the child's emotions at that point of time. Like it has to be really not ignored, not being resisted, or not trying to shove it off, like get rid of it, but honoring what the feeling is. And at the same time, taking that motherly head on, or the parental parent head on, and take care of the child first, then only I'll be able to take care of everything around. So I think it calls for a practice every day, or the willingness to work on self every moment for whatever we go through is more important.
okay, so basically you're saying one should be ready for the eventuality always, whether an event like that occurs or not, because unless you're practicing, you will not have the handle at the right moment.
Yeah, and actually nobody can be ever very ready for such events because nobody wants such events. But
Yes.
it's still not in our hands. We need to understand or honor the uncertainty of life as well. So nobody can predict our days or the way it will happen, or whether it will happen the way we want or not. So honoring the uncertainty of life, I guess if that self talk, self work is done every moment, honoring every shit that we deal with, then I guess facing such situations might be easy. Might be easy. But even if it is difficult, I guess it is more of that pressure wherein we will become more immune to many things, or there is some transformation happening during that pressure moment. And we need to honor even that every bit of.
Oh, wonderful. So basically, you're saying that right in the middle of the worst moment, there could be a chance for some transformation that is happening if you are open to it.
Absolutely, because I strongly believe that every pain and suffering has a huge gift within, and it has come to us for opening, for recognizing it, for opening it, for honoring it. Or you can even say it is more of a detox of self. So, if that detoxification is happening at that point of time, then the positivity just flows with it. You don't have to s- work hard in being assertive about certain things. It will just then flow because you have decluttered yourself at that point of time.
Okay, this is very interesting.